welcome to Chapter 2 Club's Smart Woman's Guide to Breakups and Everything After. Today I'm here with certified professional coach and social worker Rich Heller, and we're going to be talking about letting go. Hello, Rich. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. I needed to let go of a lot of things just to be here.
I hear you. So did I.
Yeah.
So let's talk about letting go. And we got some feedback from some of our viewers on this topic. And I think it's a tough one to deal with through breakup and divorce. There's a lot of things that people need to let go of, people and objects. And one of the things that one of our viewers had brought up was moving out of the house and the fighting that incurred with dividing up the assets. So maybe you can speak a little bit to something like that.
For sure. This is really, first of all, this is really common.
Yeah.
And it's if all the assets were reduced down to a dollar amount, they'd be fighting over the dollar amount. It's right. Because it's not actually the object that's being fought over. What's happening is letting go is a code word for something we don't do very well yet in this country anyway. It's called mourning.
Yeah.
Like with mourning, in the United States, when somebody dies, it's like, we have a funeral, we bury them, and we move on in our lives, we go back to work. Maybe we take a week off. Well, losing a relationship, particularly one that has a deep commitment, and if there are children involved, it's a really deep commitment,
right,
is a form of mourning. You're mourning the death of that relationship. And so the fight that's going on really has to do with not wanting to let go of the dreams that those people created together, the vision that they had together. There's like a whole life that they created together, and mixed in there is betrayal and all these other feelings. So the fighting it's more empowering to go to anger than to hang out in a sense of loss. Yeah. And so very often people will fight over a piece of stickly furniture or some other object rather than just have the feeling of loss.
And what's the process, or what are some tips that you can tell our viewers on how to, get through such a thing?
Yeah, the big thing is getting that they're really, it's not that the rules were changed or that the players changed. There was some real value and a really authentic dream. In the beginning, two people met, they fell in love, they got married, and when they had children together, really sealed that contract, they sealed that vision, they seemed to have shared values. And when people get to divorce, they think, oh, it's because we don't share values. But it's getting that what's being lost was the good part. Right? The meeting, the falling in love, the vision, and how things went. And in every story, it's a little different where the two start to come apart and then become parallel and then become divergent.
Right.
But it's about mourning and letting go of the good stuff. And then it's easier to let go of the bad stuff. Like, who wants to hold on to that anyway? So first, just accepting that a marriage is a separate relationship from the two individuals, and that when a marriage dies, a whole bunch of hope and dream and good stuff dies with it. And the second tip would be give yourself formal time to mourn it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know where our audience is from, but in many cultures, if there's a death in the family, they'll have a formal grieving time of 3 days, 6 days, 30 days,
sure,
6 months, depends on the culture.
Sure.
Where you say, I'm going to just wear black and I'm going to do nothing but cry and gnash my teeth and be upset. And then when that comes, I'm done.
Right.
Or I'll move on to the next phase or whatever. But give yourself a set time to really be sad, to really have the feelings. These are two key tips to letting go. Because part of letting go is having those feelings, those disempowering feelings that none of us like to have.
Yeah. Really validate. I like that. Really validating and allowing yourself, giving yourself permission.
Right. Exactly.
Grieve, mourn. Yes.
And I love that word you picked, validate, because you're also validating, there was something good here.
Right.
Typically when people are getting divorced, they're like, he's a jerk, she's a jerk, it sucked. How could I marry that schmuck? How could I? But it's really not like that. It's validating, you know what? the initial choice probably wasn't bad. That maybe something happened in there that maybe there was a mistake. Well, certainly there was if you're getting divorced.
Right.
But it's not like everything was crap from the beginning. Well, sometimes it is, but that's pretty rare. I've heard some really good stories.
I'm sure you have. We've got a lot from our viewers out there too. So
yeah.
Well, great. This was a nice little intro into letting go. And if our viewers out there want to learn more, we've got a lot of resources and some upcoming workshops. So check us out at chapter2club.com. And thank you so much, Rich, for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Take care, everyone. See you next time.